But yeah, I guess diving back into the subject matter of my trip, and I guess something I didn't mention that kind of, I guess, it could have built expectation, but it did not, was the day before I left, I decided to go to a Reiki. I don't even know what the hell you call them, a Reiki person. And it is I'll wait to give my conclusion. But so I'm on Groupon, and which I guess that's probably like the first red flag now that I'm looking back at it, is that this person's offering their services on Groupon. But but I see this person's Reiki place, and what Reiki is, I guess, in a nutshell, is energy work. Supposedly, this person has these open chakras in their hands. I learned all this, by the way. I didn't do my research beforehand, but they have these open chakras in their hands, and like they have the power, I guess, is one way of saying it. And they put their hands over your body in certain chakra points and like channel their energy and refresh yours or whatever. And I don't know why I wanted to believe that, but I did. And I'm on Groupon, and I look up this lady's website, and like she's got great reviews. Everybody that she had, just like hundreds of amazing reviews, and I was like, this is great. So I went to the website, and like in the testimonials is like is a picture of her and like Kanye West. So like her giving Reiki to Kanye. So I'm just like, all right, I mean, I have to try it now, being from Chicago and being a fan of Kanye. I went and I was like, all right, I'm going to book this. Booked it. It's like, I'm going to do it right before my trip. Maybe it'll have some great effects. And maybe that was the reasoning behind the great effects. But I show up, go into the office or where the practice is going to happen. And she's like, it was just like a small talk therapy mixed in with like very strange chakra explanations and work. And like and like I was following along with her. Like I was like, okay, like, this is all right. This is all right. Like, not believing in it, but like understanding the benefit of it. And then she was like, okay, well, let me show you how this works. And she pulls out a pendant that she says can, I guess, like track chakras or like understand it or whatever. And anyways, she like dangles it. It's on a necklace. It's like a stone on a necklace, like on a rope. And she puts it on above her palm as like a pendulum. And she like, it like is spinning in a circle, and she's like, look at it. Like, this is my chakras are open, as you can see by this stone that's going in a circle above my hand. Like, you see, I'm not moving anything. Like, and I'm like looking at her hand as the bullshit artist and the skeptic that I am. I'm like, and you could see like the elbow, like causing circles. And I'm just like you could have skipped that whole thing, and it could have been a million times better. But anyways, I keep going. At that point, like, I shut down. But I keep going, and I mean, the whole experience was like her putting hands over me while I was laying down. It was very relaxing. Like, it was in dark, and like a ton of singing bowls, like hitting the singing bowls as they're on your chest to supposedly vibrate and open the chakra. And like, I mean, it wasn't anything like profound, but it was still cool. And I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, that all happened, and it was just like, I left and I was like, this is the biggest bullshit. And there's a huge market for it. And yeah, so I guess you could say like it didn't do anything for me. And I'm sorry if there's Reiki practitioners out there. But I thought that was incredible, because a ton of maybe some of you haven't heard of it, but it's like, it's pretty big where I'm at. Like, it's known, and it's been known for a couple of years now. Like, have you heard of Reiki before? I mentioned it to you.
Yeah, and I definitely heard. So we were talking about it a while back on the Discord server. Because I think Adam in Canada that had been on the show, I
Mm-hmm.
think his mom does it, and she even does it over the phone, which I thought was just kind of funny. But
Yeah. So it definitely works.
yeah, I've never thought to do it, but I'd heard of it for sure, and I think when you told me you were going to do it, I mean, basically, I think my advice was like, go into it with an open mind and see what it is,
Yeah.
um, and
Yeah.
and it's kind of like the same thing with me going to the medium in New York. It's like if you go in thinking this is bullshit with your arms crossed, the chances are it's going to be bullshit, you know?
Yep.
So if someone's going to Reiki going like, this is what I need, I've tried all sorts of other things, I can't do that. And you go in hoping it's going to work. And at the very least, what it's doing is, giving you the same moment of solitude. Well, not solitude, I guess, but it's forcing you to be in the moment and be meditative.
Yeah.
Just
No,
like
exactly.
floating
Yeah.
or yoga and meditation and stuff like that. And so, like, if someone has some sort of condition they're trying to clear up or whatever, and they have a restless mind, to take a moment to be in that setting of, with singing bells or singing bowls and all that, like, that's a nice peaceful thing that could be relaxing and therapeutic. And I could see, that they leave going, oh, that really helped, but they
Hmm.
probably could have done the same thing themselves almost, you know, um,
And I think that's a big part of why I had that opinion about it was because I've meditated before, and I've experienced that
yeah,
calm.
yeah. Um,
And like, and knowing that you can reach that calm and depths beyond that calm by doing it just like in a room by yourself, I was just like, all right, this is ridiculous. But for people in a bustling city, that don't take the time of day, yeah, I could see where all those positive reviews come from and
yeah,
all of that.
yeah. And once you pay money for something like that, you're invested in making it seem like it works,
Yeah.
but I mean, there also, there could be a lot of the same forces behind the placebo effect working, that, I mean, there's something there that, you know, our body can heal itself physically when it thinks it's being healed. uh, our mind and our energy levels and our vibrations, they can all heal themselves when they think they're being healed as well, I would imagine, and I think that Reiki could fall into that, that
Hmm.
you feel better because you think you feel better, or whatever. I don't know the reasons that people go to do it, and there's probably a whole host of them, but I don't know. There's something to the fact that the whole idea of chakras uh, and energy, the not only the fact that those ideas and those philosophies um, have been around for quite some time, but also the fact that they seem to kind of create a community that really strongly believes in it. Um, I don't know. It's not on me to say it's bullshit. Like, it might
Yeah.
not be for me. It could be a waste of money for me. There might be other paths to the same thing, but I can't really say it's all snake oil salesmen or anything like that. Um, I mean, there's some sort of validity to it. The fact that it's still around. Um, and I look at stuff like that the same way as I look at psychedelics. Like, it's possible that chakras and energy is such a hard phenomenon to observe that we just don't have the scientific instruments able to detect it. Much like whatever's going on in a psychedelic state, whatever we're entities we're encountering or places we're going to. We can't scientifically prove it, because it's just such a bizarre concept to our consciousness, and it's possible that chakras and all that are the same, the same way, and that we don't even see the benefits because we don't even understand that, like you mentioned that, maybe your trip was that good because you had that, you don't know.
No, I don't know, and I guess I don't mean to bash it as hard as I did, but it was just like I said, just knowing that there's other avenues that are free to get to that same place was, I guess that was the part that like turned me off about it. And on top of that, the like the gimmick of the stone over the chakra, like I said, if you remove that from the equation, I would have been more into it than I was.
Yeah.
So it like acting like that was that stone and on that string was the instrument to measure it like that.
Yeah.
Like I fully believe in like in chakras and energy. Like I'm all in on that. But I guess I'm just not in on this part
or that particular person. I mean, like you said,
I guess that could be it too,
and whatever. It almost seems like someone that fully believes in the power of Reiki would like give a free first session, to see if you're into it, and then maybe it's something that needs to be part of regular chakra maintenance. I don't know. I don't know enough about that stuff, but
and I think that the lady gauged me kind of falling out of the whole trance. Like I think she kind of understood that I was like, this isn't it. Especially because like after the session, like once she turns the lights on and she's like, how are you feeling? And you tell her how you're feeling, like much relaxed. She like goes into her sales pitch, I was like, it like, I do couples, Christmas is just around the corner. This is that. Like, I understand like that's the business, but it's like, it just felt off, I was like, this isn't the time for that. So all those, I guess all those variables adding up, I was just like, this, I won't be revisiting this with this lady, I guess I should say.
Like talking about a thing like Reiki, it makes me think of the way that I approach stuff like that I don't understand, but I'm not going to just say, I might think like, that probably won't work for me, but like, it's one of those things that I'm not going to be like, wow, that won't work for anyone. Like it just, there's enough of the mystic in me that I'm like, maybe, and it goes into the way I feel about psychics, the way I feel about hypnotists. It's like, it's just the brain is bizarre, and I can't be too sure about anything, and I don't want to go too much into it, but like I am going to make a video to talk about some of the response that we've had to our last podcast episode with Mew. I'll go more into the comments on gender and identity and stuff like that. But I also saw a couple comments like criticizing the small reference I had to like agreeing that psychics could be real. And it falls into this for me. Like, I don't know if they're real or not. I went to this medium, as kind of an experience at a really special place to, share with my wife for our anniversary. And taking the whole psychic part of it out of it, like the day was amazing, so it was worth it. Whatever, I don't feel like I got ripped off by going to this medium. And she wasn't 100% accurate. If anyone that was criticizing my comments on psychics like wants to go listen to that episode, and I think we talked about it more, but like, it wasn't crazy accurate, but there was enough stuff to be like, well, that's kind of weird, but whatever, I never got the instance she was a grifter or anything like that, Certainly there's psychics out there that are, I think someone in one of the comments, even made reference to like psychics that have been challenged to use their powers and have psychedelic or scientific results, have failed. And it's like, well, that falls into the same thing that I was just talking about psychedelics. Like maybe psychic powers can't be scientifically observed, and it maybe psychic intuition comes down to the same thing. Like if you're into it and more open, a psychic's intuition is going to be stronger, and so it comes back to like how powerful our brain is.